Warning, the following video is rated D for degenerate. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Hello everyone out there, my name is Redemption and welcome to the channel of Redemption Games 22.
I told you it's to me being a predator, a creep.
We have seen some real deranged people come out of the DSP community. Everything from diaper-wearing furries to fat motherfuckers asking psychics if they're ever gonna find love on the internet. A sex pest who harasses certain kind of content creators on the internet. And even Bathtub Boy.
Dude, looking up kids in the bathtub isn't fucking pedophilia. The only reason why it's pedophilia if you jerk off to it. I didn't even jerk off to it at all.
However, I'm willing to bet my entire life savings that none of these dents can hold a candle to the one that we're discussing in this video. I'm of course talking about Redemption Games. Now, some of you guys may be saying, Monster, didn't you already put out a video on Redemption Games? That's right. Last year, I made a video talking about how he was exposed for being a vile human being. Unfortunately, within that video, I put out some fake information, some fake news, that Redemption Games was actually another DSP denthead by the name of Dan the Man. And I had no idea that Piece of Peace debunked that prior to me putting out that video. So, Dan the Man, know it's a long shot that you'd be watching this, but if you just so happen to stumble upon this, I want to extend a sincere apology to you for accusing you of being this vile human being. Now, instead of taking the update information that I have and putting it into this video and leaving the other one up, I figured I'd take the information from that particular video that's actually legit, put it into this one so it's just there for one viewing. So, with all that being said, get your liquor, get your weed, get whatever the fuck you need. In particular, your therapist's number on speed dial. Because this is the Moron Files of Redemption Games.
Oh, come on. What's with this? What is this? What is this? Oh, no.
This is Redemption Games, a DSP denthead that takes the term denthead to a whole new level. See, he's not just someone that is a casual viewer of DSPs and interacts in the chat. He's actually someone that looks at DSP as someone to aspire to be like and mimic within his own content. He snorts and belches in his streams just like DSP.
On Bussy, right, Drake? Fish is like a staple of ours.
In his community posts, he uses DSP-isms like laying down the law, and even uses DSP-isms when titling his streams, like using words like impromptu in all caps. He even begs like DSP.
Go ahead, just use the Streamlabs tipping link. Yes, that's the word, flavorful as well. How big? Like, It doesn't matter, as long as you tip, I will give it a big shout out here on stream. Just drop however you want. Just drop how much money you want to drop. Just type it in the Streamlabs tipping majig, thingamajig. Just drop that big ass donation, bro. Just do it. Or like the meme would say, do it. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreamed.
If this was all there was to Redemption, we wouldn't be here right now. But let's be real. We all know what's coming next, so let's just talk about how he's the worst denthead to ever exist.
I love little girl. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I can't look at you. I mean, I can handle ugly, but this is like circus ugly.
You would think becoming the worst DSP dent in history would be an uphill battle. However, Redemption did it with ease. Considering all the leaks that came out about him, it went from being just a DSP LARPer that we all pointed and laughed at, to the worst person that has ever came out of that community, and I cannot stress that fact enough. And it all started with an exchange with a troll pretending to be a girl, messaging him and saying, "Hey, you want some nude photos?" And he's like, "Yes," frothing at the mouth to see these fake titties. And then this troll told him, "Oh, I'm a guy, I'm just fucking with you." "No, wait, no, that was just a joke. I'm actually a girl. Do you still want those nudes?" And this fucking moron says yes, expecting nudes from someone that just said that they were a guy, not being able to tell that they are a troll. However, this gave this person an idea to create a Decoy account along with another troll by the name of Polar. And they created a Decoy account and started talking to Redemption Games. And the messages that Redemption Games have with the Decoy Sarah are fucking wild. You know shit's going bad when the most tame thing contained within the leaks is the fact he is a cuck? Yes, Redemption Games loves big black cocks. He wants his girlfriend or wife to go out and get railed by a BBC and then come home and fuck him afterwards. Because Redemption loves some good old sloppy seconds. And let's not forget about his desire to go out and rape bitches. Again, this is the light-hearted portion of the video, because things only get way worse after this.
Sarah, why did you care about Lewis earlier though? LOL. You are a pedophile, aren't you? Redemption Games. I'm trying not to be a creep. Sarah, what do you mean? Redemption Games. I mean that I don't want to associate myself with Lewis. That guy is snitching on me. Sarah, snitching? Redemption Games. AKA he doesn't like me. But yes, I'm somewhat of a pedo.
You're somewhat of a pedo? I can't wait to hear this explanation.
Sarah, what kid did you want to fuck? Redemption Games. 2 years younger. Sarah, I mean like a child? You know, like a 10-year-old? Redemption Games. 12 years old max. Maximum.
I forgot how fucking bad these messages were. I need to get drunker. Fuck me, man.
Sarah, what 12-year-old do you want to fuck? Redemption Games. The cute kind.
Yeah, shit's not looking too good right now for Redemption, but he does have an out. He could just say it was a Photoshop job by one of those evil DSP detractors, trying to frame another one of his dent heads for being a vile human being. But that entire argument would get thrown completely out the window after his roleplay was leaked.
To paint myself as a mature, like 23, 24-year-old teacher / professor, whatever the hell you want to call that. And I'm teaching all basically at middle school, around the 7th grade or something like that.
In case you didn't pick up on it, Daniel's pretending to be a 7th grade middle school teacher, and the trolls that he's role-playing with are his students, making them around 12 to 13 years old, which is fucking reprehensible. However, as vile and disgusting as this roleplay is, it contains some hilarious comments and statements from Daniel, such as...
So, here's the thing. I know you guys have been sneaking on me. I know you are big fans of me. I know you have followed me around on social media, especially since I am not only a famous teacher here in the school, but also a famous content creator and streamer.
I'm no Steve of the Dead. I don't know how to psychoanalyze this motherfucker, but I do find it hilarious that he's taking two of his biggest fantasies and combining them together into this roleplay. Like, on the one hand, he's this famous content creator and streamer, which he so desperately wants to be. And then he's combining that with his fantasies for wanting to fuck middle school girls, which he so desperately wants. I don't know what it is about that, but it's just so hilariously pathetic to me that I can't help but laugh at it.
So, how about you say you have some fun? You have some fun, huh? So, what do you say? The kind of fun that only adults can enjoy, but I can share the love to kids as well.
You what?
What the fuck did you just say?
the kind of fun that only adults can enjoy, but I can share the love to kids as well.
I'm gonna have to go get more beer because there's no way I could get through this fucking shit without having to numb my brain. Because what the fuck was that, Daniel? You really thought that whole thing through and said that out loud? And thought it was completely fine and normal to say? What the fuck is wrong with these dents?
In this body, this is a body of a man. This is a body of a professor. See this is a big boy body. Ever since I ate a lot, that's my body type.
You hear him, guys? He's a big boy. This is his big boy body. I forgot how fucking hilarious this roleplay was. But in all seriousness, Daniel's not looking too good right here. And instead of following in his hero's footsteps and lying about everything like DSP would, Daniel decided to jump out in front of everything and fire up an impromptu apology stream where he was going to apologize for all the fucked up shit that he said and make it up to everybody by playing some video games. This isn't gonna backfire hilariously.
Okay. I apologize for, my erratic behavior, and I apologize for everything I said in the Discord calls, in the DMs. I apologize to everybody who I trampled with, and I apologize for making comments about having inappropriate relationships and or sex with minors, and I profusely apologize for that. But let me make it up to you all by making this video, or should I say this stream, so that you all would not get pissed.
So right out of the gate from this apology stream, there's already things that we need to take notice of. Like, the first being that he's just trying to sweep under the rug what he's being exposed for. He's trying to downplay it and make it seem like it's no big deal. Like, yeah, guys, I'm sorry, and I'm deeply, profusely apologize for wanting to have sex with minors. Like, he just brushes it right under the rug. And the second tidbit from this clip that we need to talk about that's a massive red flag is the level of contempt in his voice at the end of that clip, where he says, oh, so I'm doing this so you guys won't get pissed. As if in his mind, he's really thinking that we have the actual audacity to call him out and expose him and make fun of him for his disgusting pedophilic actions. Fuck you, Daniel. But this is just the opening apology in his pre-stream before he goes live to YouTube and his YouTube audience. I'm sure that apology will be 10 times better than whatever the fuck that was.
What's good, YouTube? Redemption Games here, back again, once again, and today I got for you more Let's Play Suikoden 5 as part of my Redemption Plays series. And first of all, I just want to say that I profusely apologize for my inappropriate comments that I made to various people within my community, especially to minors, and I deeply, profusely apologize for that. So anyways, let's go ahead and continue on, shall we?
That's it? Those are the apologies that you're giving for what you're fucking being exposed for? Are you kidding me? You had a full-blown roleplay with someone who you thought was already underage, where you wanted them to pretend to be a 7th grader, 12 to 13 years old. You went on to state that the oldest person you wanted to have sex with would be 12 years old maximum. And that's what you're describing as inappropriate comments with minors? Are you fucking kidding me, Daniel?
So, like I said before, I apologize for me saying inappropriate stuff, and I apologize for to have sex with minors, want to have sex with children. I apologize for that profusely, and I retract all those or I own up to it because I'm still a human and I make mistakes. So, anyways, that's
Come on, guys, cut him some slack. I mean, how many of us have said that we'll do the dishes and forget to do them, or forget to pay someone we owe money back? It's simple, honest human mistakes. And in Daniel's case, it's him saying he wants to have sex with children. This is top tier dent-headed logic.
said before. I apologize for me being a predator, a creep, and I apologize for wanting to have sex with minors. Y'all happy now? I know Gummy Worm is here that accepted the apology, so yeah. I did already apologize. What the hell do you want more? The hell, stop. I did already explain here in the stream. What more do you want? Aside from me doing a 4-hour stream here.
This fucking moron really believes that because he said I'm sorry a few times in this stream and is streaming a video game for 4 hours, that everyone's supposed to just wash their hands with him, completely forgive and forget. No, Daniel, no one is forgiving you for your fucked up actions. No, Daniel, no one is going to forget your fucked up actions. You will never be able to escape this. This is going to follow you wherever you go. And this kind of logic and reasoning is exactly why we call DSP fans dentheads.
I did already apologize. What do you all want, huh?
Big ups to Sunspot Gallery and every single person that was in his chat that night bullying him. It got so good to the point where he had to cut the mic off, go into the corner, and have a good cry because he couldn't handle the backlash from being exposed for his disgusting, depraved actions. But the apology tour didn't stop here. He actually uploaded an apology video to Twitter with him on his hands and knees begging for forgiveness.
Okay, I apologize sincerely for my lewd comments. I'm sorry that I think about and I wanted to have sex with children. Once again, I apologize for what I said and what I did, and I apologize for wanting to have sex with children. Thank you very much, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
To everybody's shock and surprise, this little apology tour he went on didn't do him any favors. In fact, it painted him in a much worse light. Now, given everything that we've discussed so far about Daniel, he's paving the way to being the worst denthead in DSP history. Sure, there are going to be people out there arguing that Derek or Bathtub Boy are worse than him because of their actions online and their potential to assault somebody. However, Redemption has already assaulted somebody.
No, that's not rape. That is accidental touching. I did not do sexual intercourse. That is like accidental touching. What? What's the problem? Christ.
Accidental touching is a rather interesting way to say that you groped a younger girl, Daniel. His entire explanation of this basically boils down to saying that he tripped, fell, and grabbed this younger girl's ass in the process at school. I'm not kidding.
Well, there's this one time that I got bumped in the back by one of my classmates, and then my hand accidentally bumped into a younger woman's, buttocks. Since then, I have never done it because I'm too scared. I'm too scared of repercussions, and all that shit.
You did not mishear that. The reason why Daniel's not out there groping women right now isn't because it's morally wrong and fucked up. No. It's because he's too much of a pussy to handle the repercussions of his actions. He's too afraid to have people confront him and possibly lay hands on him for his fucked up actions. But this gives us a good insight into Daniel's psyche. See, if there wasn't any consequences for these kind of actions, he'd be out there groping women left and right non-stop because he's that kind of fucked up person.
At first glance, it was the former, but looking back on it, it's the latter.
So first it was an accident, but then you're gonna say after looking back on it, it was on purpose. But your legit on the record answer is that it was an accident. So that way you don't look like a horrible person. Jesus fucking Christ, this can't get any worse, right?
No, not in my lifetime. Because again, I am matured enough to think that way. And I don't want to do it again in fear of retribution. Of repercussions.
I'm literally at a loss for words. I don't even know what I was gonna say here. I'm just like, dude, you had a softball question right there. Have you ever molested somebody? That is a softball question. Here's how fast you should answer that shit. No. That's immediately how much time should transpire from you being asked that question to you saying no. Literally 0.2 seconds. And you somehow fumble that? And then you say not again? Not again? So you are saying that this was intentional? That you did intentionally grab this woman's ass fucking while you were in school pretending to slip and fall? What? But like, but yet...
I know, but again, I have a code I need to uphold. An honor code.
In the very same sentence that this man says, I have a moral code, he starts it by saying, I know, in response to this question. This shit just writes itself at this point. Now, for those of you that have made it this far into the video with me, you're probably looking at how much of the video is left and or wondering, Monster, how could it possibly get any worse than this? Well, some new information was brought to my attention, and we're going to be talking about all of it after this public service announcement.
The arms of the angel fly away from here.
Here's what's going on. Don't ever do that again. That's what they did 4 years ago. They gave me a warning and said, don't talk about bits in any kind of a financial capacity. So I never did it ever again. Okay? So I honestly don't know. Okay? So I went downstairs and I spoke with my wife. By the way, Kat is completely upset. She's crying.
Oh, your silent reverie.
Hi, I'm Monster. Can you be an angel today? Every day, this greasy pig has to beg mentally handicapped people for their money over the internet. For your one-time donation of $16.51, we can help this poor man pull sweaty JPEGs and WWE champions. If you call within the next 30 minutes, you'll receive a free membership to his channel, courtesy of the country of Argentina. After my video on Daniel went up, which I know he watched, he tried to disappear from the internet. He locked down his Twitter and all other forms of social media that he had. He returned to the Redemption Games channel for one live stream before nuking it completely. He essentially wanted to fall back into the shadows, wait for the heat to die down, so he could come back and become that famous content creator. But Polar and the Trolls, they weren't having any of it. They kept tabs on him, and Polar was even able to get into a voice call with him. Unfortunately, his audio wasn't recorded in this conversation, but just going off of how Daniel's talking in it, we get a good idea of what they were discussing.
Yeah, I do. So please don't stress me out, please. Please just don't tell about my past. Don't relive it again. I had enough. Please, I just don't want drama anymore. Please, I just don't want to relive my past. Please, I'm getting sick now. But that shit is in the past. Oh my god. Okay. I just don't want to relive my past. Okay, I'm getting tired. I'm getting Uh, I need to take a shower.
Yeah, I mean, you did say you wanted to have sex with kids. Like, I don't really see, like,
That was in the past, man. That was in the past, man. I am not that same guy anymore. Yeah. No, because that was in the past, okay? That was in the past.
That's right, everybody. The past is the past. Sure, this is a classic Cyrax defense, and the past Daniel's referring to is him being exposed a couple months prior to this conversation, saying he wants to have sex with kids. That's all in the past. He's a changed man. He is the reformed one. Polar and the Trolls, though, weren't buying his bullshit for 1 second, so they created new accounts and interacted with Daniel, keeping tabs on him, making sure he lived up to that Reformed One title. And it's through these conversations that we got more information on who Daniel is as a person. The first being that Daniel is a needy boy. He needs constant attention and validation from anybody he interacts with on the internet that he thinks has a pussy. He will spam message anybody he interacts with that he thinks is a woman, non-stop, that it makes Derek look like an amateur. He will bring up wanting to sext or have phone sex or how horny he is within the first 5 messages with people he thinks has a pussy. Hell, there was an OnlyFans creator who sent him a titty pic out of pity, and because she did that, he spam messaged her 5 times a month, every month, for 2 years straight. As if it couldn't get any worse than that, we also find out that Daniel, and this could be shocking to some of you, has a disability. That's right. He was born a waterhead with crab feet and a smile that only a mother could love. Speaking of mothers, I think that's a great segue point into our next tidbit of information we found out about Daniel. And it's that Daniel is a family man. He loves his mother. He credits her for being the person who has got him to get rid of his pedophilic urges and his pedophilic mindset. Sure, it might have something to do with him being kicked out of his local church after people let them know what he's doing online, but that's neither here nor there. She's there to make sure her son doesn't want to go out and fuck 6th graders. But I guess Daniel is interpreting this kind of guidance in a different way. It is taking a page out of the Christian handbook because he genuinely believes that he could fuck his own mother. The family loving doesn't stop with his mother, though. In fact, he would love to breed one of his own cousins if they just weren't so shy around the subject of being raped. He even told one of the decoys he was conversing with that he would think it would be hot for them to suck their own father's dick. However, these examples of Daniel's obsession with incest are nothing compared to this. Amy, at what age would you start fucking our daughters, Daddy? Hopefully young. Daniel, around 15. Amy, oh, why not 12 or 13 when they first start puberty? Daniel, that would be great too. Around 13 is the best.
Baby, I want to breathe our 13-year-old daughter's pussy. I want to knock that bitch out. For real.
His mother's not safe, his cousins aren't safe, his future daughters, who I'm thankful will never exist, are not safe. But Daniel's degeneracy isn't just limited to his family. He has stated that he has beaten his dick to pictures of 13-year-old girls that he's found on the internet. He's even stated that he wants to fuck Dora the Explorer and the voice actor for Dora. Now, Dora the Explorer is 7 years old canonically, and the voice actor for Dora started off doing the show when she was 7 years old. Daniel is a menace to society that needs to be completely removed from the internet. And I guess this, now that I've shown you what kind of person Daniel is, let's just get straight into the Decoy convos. Real quick, quick, I forgot to mention earlier that Daniel went through a number of name changes. He went from Redemption Games to the Christian Gamer before abandoning that moniker entirely and settling on the Gaming Guru, which is what he currently goes by to this day. But the first troll that we're going to be discussing is an account by the name of Angela, one that was specifically made just to tear Daniel down. Within the first few messages, Daniel's already throwing out the bait to this person in hopes of getting some kind of sexually charged conversation from them, saying that when he's watching porn, his mind often wanders and that he can often talk sexual to people. But when he didn't get the response that he was hoping for, it devolved into him just venting about those mean, nasty bully trolls, calling us vile and disgusting human beings for exposing him and exploiting his weakness. That weakness being his attraction to 13-year-old girls. Daniel, they called me out for being a pedo too, just because I talked to someone younger than me. Angela, well, were you being sexual with that young person? Daniel, at times, but not overtly. Daniel, could you please fucking explain to me how sending your dick to what you think is a 13-year-old not being overtly sexual, you fucking degenerate? Daniel, I know. I just want to make gaming content, but then when I jumped into a live stream with this content creator named DSP Gaming, those pricks harass me non-stop. What a bunch of assholes. Yeah, aren't we just the biggest assholes in the world for fucking with Daniel for saying he wants to have sex with kids? I mean, Daniel, you should have known this was coming though, considering DSP has warned his viewers multiple times that we're gonna stalk his viewers and expose them for this kind of shit. But that makes us the bad guys, at least according to Daniel and DSP.
Extreme popular. There's literally a group of people who are so unhinged, who are so antisocial, they are sociopaths, that if someone just happens to find me in my content, a newcomer, and they come to the channel and they say, hey, I want to hang out for a few days, and they do, these people then stalk them. They go to their social media. They go to their YouTube page. They go to everything. They leave nasty comments. They fucking do everything they can to harass them.
Daniel was then asked if he was still talking to minors, to which he responded with no, thank goodness, and then wanted to go on and try to flirt with Angela, asking them if they were single and wanted to mingle, and sent a picture of himself. And this troll responded, eviscerating him, tearing Daniel down piece by piece. But that was it for Angela, so let's move on to the next account. The next account goes by the name Diva, and they weren't pretending to be underage. Their whole purpose was being a fake girlfriend, conversing with him just to get some information out of him, using a profile picture of some model that would never go within 30 feet of Daniel, and it worked. He took the bait instantaneously, frothing at the mouth when he saw that profile picture. Within the first few messages, he's already bringing up how he likes to watch porn, in hopes of getting some kind of sexual conversation out of this person. But when that didn't work, he then goes on to vent about how he's being bullied by the trolls yet again. But that's it for right now regarding Diva. However, there is a portion later in this video where we will be bringing this account back up. The two accounts that we're going to be discussing next are Amy and Jocelyn. Amy being the account that got Daniel to talk about his incest obsession and all the other degenerate shit that he's into. But those conversations aside, he said some real cringy shit to this person, like asking her to call him stepdaddy or Dan-sama, and would vent to her about his obsession with wanting to murder one of his trolls in particular. And then there's Jocelyn, a 16-year-old friend of Amy's that would inevitably become Daniel's online girlfriend. He would tell her how much he loves her, and she would reciprocate, saying that she was gonna buy him a gaming PC and even move all the way to the Philippines just to be with him. And Daniel was ecstatic. He was so happy to finally have a girlfriend that would want to be with him in person. The trouble being, though, that she's only 16. What's he gonna say to all of his friends and family? Well, to his friends, he's just gonna tell them that she's his adopted sister. I don't know how he's gonna get away with that with his parents, considering that they now have an adopted child they don't even know about, but that's neither here nor there. Daniel is a genius and knows how to work this. Unfortunately, though, there was trouble in paradise. Daniel and Jocelyn ended up breaking up after a heated argument over the gaming PC. And he would vent to Amy about it, saying that he wasn't in his right mindset when he said all those mean things to Jocelyn. He blamed it on his depression from not making content.
That was my depression.
Daniel would message Amy repeatedly, begging her to talk to Jocelyn for him, to help them get back together, telling Amy how much he loved Jocelyn and how he profusely apologized for all the mean things he said to her. Yeah, we haven't heard that word come out of your mouth before, Daniel, right? But he even ended it by saying, "Good thing I sent her a picture of my dick. Hopefully she accepts my apology." And if you motherfuckers think we're not gonna read that apology, you're smoking crack. "I'm sorry. Hope you can forgive me. Babe, I'm so sorry about everything. Here, have a picture of my dick as an apology present." You heard him, boys. If you ever get into an argument or a fight with your girlfriend, wife, or significant other, just say "I'm sorry" a bunch of times and send them a dick pic. That's a surefire way to get them to forgive you. Now we're gonna move on to the final troll account, that being Amy's 13-year-old sister, Caroline. Caroline was an account specifically made just to see if Daniel was being a man of his word and not sexting minors anymore. In all of her bios, it clearly states that she is 13 years old. And despite this, it only took a whopping 7 messages for Daniel to ask her if she was horny. He would go on to tell her how to touch herself and have daddy-daughter role plays in the Twitter DMs and on Discord and through voice calls. And everything was looking like it was going great for Daniel and Caroline. At least until a wild train bandito entered the chat. For the record, this is before Scammer Crazy pulled his little scheme, but when Daniel saw Super Crazy enter this chat, he shit his pants. And it's not just because Super Crazy at the time was a well-known detractor and has made videos covering Daniel in the past, it's because he made a promise to Super Crazy to not talk to minors anymore in a phone call that had him, Super Crazy, and Daniel's mother in it.
As far as you know, he's never had contact with minors.
None.
Okay. Okay. Daniel, are you there?
Yeah.
And you're never going to do this again, right? I mean, you're not going to talk to any minors or online or anything?
100%.
100%?
Yeah.
Daniel started panicking, frantically texting Caroline, telling her to not let Super Crazy know that they are talking to each other, and not let Super Crazy know how old she is, because he, quote, hates pedos, which is fucking hilarious that he's continuously owning that title. But the conversation that preceded this is just priceless. Caroline, what's a pedo? Daniel, pedophile. Caroline, what's that? Daniel, a person who preys upon kids. Caroline, ah, well, you're not a pedo, so it's okay. Daniel, but please don't leak my Discord profile. Caroline, K-Daddy. Daniel, and don't tell that dude that we're talking. Caroline, okay. Daniel, because I already had a call with him about being harassed by people by talking to kids. What the hell? What's the matter, Daniel? I thought you were a brand new person. I thought you got rid of that pedo mindset. Why would you be so deathly afraid of Super Crazy entering this chat and finding out that it's you talking to Caroline? It's almost like you know that you are in fact a pedophile and just don't give a shit as long as you're not caught for it. It's through Super Crazy's presence in this Discord that we get to see Daniel's true character come to light. He starts off scolding and yelling at Caroline for talking to Super Crazy, and then goes to try to emotionally manipulate her, saying things like, "Oh, you don't want to see me get in trouble again, do you?" This is classic groomer, predator behavior, and as if there was any doubt left that Daniel is nothing more than a deplorable piece of shit. When asked if he had any regrets, if he would do anything differently, he said, "Fuck no. I have no regrets." Well, Daniel, I'm glad you have no regrets, because I have no regrets for the final part of this video. Remember when I said that a certain account by the name of Diva would be making a second appearance? Well, it turns out that Daniel sent a lot of spicy videos to Diva, and we're going to be talking about all of them, starting with him showing Diva what that mouth do. Most of you are probably aroused after watching that. Hell, I bet Kinda Sav is shooting like a broken fire hydrant at this point. But for those few of you that still aren't impressed, I bet this video of him twerking in his mother's bra is gonna do the trick. Daniel's also a fan of the classics, and did his own tribute video to a classic song called Goodbye Horses.
You love me. I love me hard.
The funniest part about that is even the fact that he actually did that. It's the reason why it's censored. See, Redemption couldn't recreate the scene from Clerks 2 and tuck his dick between his legs because his dick's so fucking tiny. That shit was the funniest part about that whole thing. But still, after dancing and doing all those performances, he needs a good snack. Thankfully, Redemption has one handy at all times, that being his toaster strudel glazing. And after eating your own icing, you need to wash that down with a good cup of hot piss. After all that physical activity, we all know Daniel worked up a sweat, which is why he applies his very own homemade body lotion to take care of that sweat and open up those pores. So while I was editing this, I came to realize that clip is completely unusable. It's uncensorable at this point. But if you really were curious as to what Daniel's homemade body lotion is, it's his own shit. He smears his own shit all over his own chest. There you go. There's even a video out there of him eating a literal shit sandwich, but I'm already walking a tightrope as is with YouTube with this video, and I feel like I've scarred you guys enough that I don't need to show that. But we're going to end it on a positive note for Daniel. See, he was able to become the spokesperson for Colgate after they saw the videos of him not only eating their product, but cleaning his colon with it. On that note, I think we're gonna call it a night, boys. Now, Daniel, I know that this video is gonna make it to your eyes. I know that you're going to see this, so I just want to let you know, you're a massive piece of shit. You need to get the fuck off the internet and stay the fuck away from kids, because you are an immediate danger to them. You are a subhuman. You aren't even a person to me. You are on Cyrax territory, Daniel. And I hope you never know peace. And I want you to also know that whenever you try to rebrand yourself and come back under some other stupid fucking name, that myself and the other trolls are gonna be there and follow you every step of the way and expose you and let everyone know, once again, what kind of deplorable, predatory piece of shit you really are. Speaking of the trolls, massive big fucking ups to Polar and all the other trolls that fucked with Daniel and got us all this information. If it was not for them, none of this would be possible. They are the real MVPs. I don't know how they did it without getting therapy. I know I need therapy after this. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed this. If you did, drop me a like, maybe a sub, or a share, or a comment. If you're DSP watching one of his detractors bitching about how I'm stalking one of his fans, or Derek, or Daniel, or Darziak, or any other of the demented dent heads, go ahead and hit that dislike button. Just make sure you participate, you ugly pieces of human shit. And I'll see you all in the next installment of the Moron Files. But until then, I'm Monster. Peace the fuck out.